brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet.
Hey, it's 10:30. It's Wednesday. It's time for Vibrant You and Vibrant Live. Because we are live, right?
We are live.
We are live.
We are.
We got lots of live human beings in here today.
I don't know about that, right?
Oh, lively. We are live.
Well, welcome back, Woody. We missed you last
Yeah,
week.
sorry about that. I had to go celebrate a 103rd birthday for my stepdad.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
exciting.
Yeah, which is amazing. And he gets there and he plays the piano and is like, really? At 103? I don't even know if I want to make it to 103, but he's doing okay.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah,
I agree.
right.
So last week we were talking about gardening.
Okay.
So kind of a funny story. My girls all came home from college this week, and I really want to watch this Netflix series. And so I go to tune it up, and I got shot down. Hannah's like, absolutely not.
You're not watching gardening?
No gardening for us. So
We
anyway,
just mowed over our garden. We're kind of starting fresh.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
I'm excited. It's the big weekend to go flower shopping.
Yeah, it
Yep,
is.
for Mother's Day. It's a tradition for us.
So what else will happen for Mother's Day for you? Do you have a guess? Are they going to surprise you? Or
It's really my birthday and Mother's Day fall around the same time.
really,
So
when's the birthday?
it's next Wednesday, actually.
All
So
right.
anyway.
We're having birthday cake, folks.
Oh my! So I don't.
bringing it.
I just kind of like show up. I don't really pay attention, and
Okay.
whatever they do, I'm fine with it. It's
Yeah.
good stuff. And usually it's opener fishing. So I did a lot of that growing up too. We went out opening to
Did you?
Yep, love
Like
fishing.
what lake would be? a
Up in
lake
Duluth, actually. My brother. What was it? Fish Reserve or Reservoir, whatever it was.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
That
that's for where I grew up. That's southern Minnesota, Duluth. We are exactly 2 hours north of Duluth. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cold.
But
Definitely cold.
it was great fishing, and you can wear a parka. Oh, what the heck? So,
I know.
If
It's
you
like-
want to know something that's really amazing, though, to bring that in here, and then I'll let you guys do what you want to do. Last year, went out there. It wasn't an opener, but went out to our hometown lake. It's 14 miles long. Gets real close to Canada by the time we're up there. And my brother-in-law was fishing. We're all fishing well. I caught this huge trout. I don't think I've ever seen a trout come out of that lake. But I was able to not only video it with my phone, but send it to all the rallies because I have such great service. See?
Very
That's
good.
awesome.
Very good.
The internet is working for me.
See, it's not
Yay.
you have like evidence. You don't have to do the whole fishing story. Like I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
right.
Are you exaggerating? Like you can actually send them.
That's right. Yeah. Of course, he holds it this close to the
Oh,
camera,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's 18 pounds. It was only 8. But anyway. So there's my story about internet. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Sticking with it.
Yeah, that's right. So what have we got that's important to talk about today? I know you guys had something to talk about last week.
Yeah,
Steve, but
we're switching up a little bit. We're going to talk about virtual tours today.
Okay.
So Jane, when I say virtual tour, what do you think of? What do you imagine?
I think of someone wearing a headset and then comically running into a wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think of real estate.
Real estate.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little later.
Okay.
We are.
How about that? Amazing how I know this.
So yeah, virtual tours. They take a few different shapes and forms. You can do it with a virtual headset, but you can also do it from the comfort of your living room on your computer, on your phone. And actually, during the pandemic, it started to be a lot more popular because people weren't able to travel. So actually, Google Arts and Culture partnered with a lot of museums, a lot of galleries, and gave people the ability to travel, without leaving their home. Essentially, you can go and look at an exhibit at a museum, at a park, and we're going to get into that a little bit. But all you need is solid internet connection, and Nathan's going to go into a little bit about how that would look if you're looking to visit something without having to leave the comfort of your living room.
Yeah, so Bo mentioned it briefly, but the number one thing you need to do a virtual tour, keyword there is virtual, is you need an internet connection, preferably a solid one, like Vibrant Broadband offers, for example. But the tour you're doing is all over the internet, so you're not able to do a virtual tour unless you have a strong internet connection. Like Jane and Bo mentioned, you can certainly use a VR, virtual reality headset, but those are, not everybody has those or wants to use those. So really you can do most of what we're going to talk about today with a smartphone, a computer, a tablet, whatever you already have. And a lot of stuff is going to be free and you don't have to pay a dime for it. So what kind of things can you visit? we'll start off with some museums. So there are some international museums, massive major museums that now offer free tours on their website. You don't have to get out of your couch. You don't have to leave the country. For example, the British Museum in London, if you want to see, the Rosetta Stone, Egyptian mummies, all kinds of stuff that they have. It's a huge museum. They now offer virtual tours where you can see the different rooms, see the different items and all this stuff, and experience a lot of that without having to go there in person. The Guggenheim in New York also offers virtual tours, including their famous spiral staircase. You can kind of walk through it in a virtual tour kind of thing and kind of experience that, which is pretty neat. And then there's a museum in Berlin. I'm going to butcher this probably. The Pergamon is a massive museum, and they offer huge tours of their artifacts and all the different stuff that they have. So if you're thinking about visiting a museum, or you're gonna go there and you kind of want to see what's where, get a little mini tour to figure out where you want to end up going, these virtual tours may be the ticket for you.
Yeah, I took a look at some of them. It's really pretty neat. So you've been to a museum and it's crowded. You can't quite get close enough to what you want to look at. Especially a lot of times they'll have descriptions and it's a little hard to read, especially if you want to have to wait in line. So when you actually can click on like a piece of art, a sculpture, and you can read about it. It actually pops up right next to it. So that's the benefit of a virtual tour. You're not really having to wait in line. You can see if maybe this section doesn't interest you. So if you're going to go, you can skip that because you've already seen it from the comfort of your home. Some other things you can do is you can visit zoos virtually. So this is
just going to say that's amazing.
It's really pretty cool. Oh, you have?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were looking at the one up here, that hammocker or whatever they call it, to see what that was. And then we looked at the Duluth Zoo. And the virtual tour.
Yep.
There you go.
It's really cool. I went on the San Diego Zoo and the Atlanta Zoo. On their website, you can go animal by animal. So I always say, with kids, they're very, very into maybe tigers or elephants or monkeys, especially the monkeys. That's my personal favorite. You can go and there's a live cam for a lot of these animals. So I went and looked at that. You can see highlight reels. A lot of times there'll be a video next to the live cam of just something you can watch, maybe a 5-minute, there's like a YouTube video link. And like a couple of years ago, there was a panda that was pregnant, and it was national news. Everyone was wanting to keep an eye on it. See it live. So there was a live cam. There's like a little countdown. People were guessing when it's going to happen. So, if you're not able to travel, if, traveling can be expensive, you can do all of that from, your computer. And there's so many different zoos. San Diego, Atlanta Zoo. There's the Reed Park Zoo in Tucson. So, and these are all free. So you don't have to spend a dime, and you can have a full experience without having to leave your home.
Every spring they do that eagle hatching one.
Yep.
That's
we were
another
talking
one.
about that.
Perfect one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We were talking about that one on the way here.
Oh, were you?
Yep, we were.
Yep. And this is a virtual tour.
This is a virtual
right
tour
now.
of us.
Yeah, so other thing is theme parks. I know a lot of people that are planning trips to Disney or Universal or some of these giant parks, and sometimes your time restraints, you're only spending a day in this area, a day in that area. Yeah. Well, these offer virtual tours, so you can kind of see, okay, which areas do you want to spend time in? Do I want to go this way? Do I want to go that way? Because you kind of want to maximize that time. If you're thinking about visiting one of these places, say, well, does it have stuff that I'm interested in? Let me take a virtual tour and kind of see what they really have for me. And those are free on Universal and Disney websites, and other major theme parks will have virtual tours like that as well. So you really want to get a feel for what the park's like, what is where, get kind of your ground and your mapping in your head. The virtual tours can really, really help you out for theme parks for sure.
Cool.
So these are personal favorites that I've actually utilized quite significantly recently. So VRBOs, if we, we have family out in New York and we were looking at different areas to go in that area, we certainly can look at what a house would look like and where it was located and kind of get that information. And then you had talked about housing earlier.
Right.
So especially somebody that's moving from an out-of-state place and coming to a location, especially with how houses go so quickly, virtual tours are definitely a must-see kind of situation. And then what I found interesting is, you don't always know what you look like when you're wearing glasses, right? And so so Pair has this, you can take a picture of yourself and then you can look at different frames, and then based upon what you like, how you like yourself in those certain frames, you can pick those out as well.
Yeah, we were just recently shopping for furniture, and we actually ended up buying a new sectional couch. But now if you're shopping online, so many of these say, you can take a picture of your living room and kind of virtually put the couch where you want it to go.
Really?
It'll give you an idea of how much room it's going to take up, how it looks in that space, color-wise. Same with the TV. We were shopping for TVs, and it's like, Will It Fit is like on Amazon. I think they have like a Will It Fit thing. You take a picture of your wall and it'll kind of impose the image of what the TV would, how much space it takes up, what kind of space it is.
Yeah.
It'll even do sizing for you and tell you how much room you need, how much room you have. Technology really comes a long way, and you can utilize so much of this stuff.
Yeah.
And hotels. So Hannah just graduated from University of Minnesota Duluth this weekend.
Congratulations, Hannah.
Yay, Hannah. I know, so exciting. So anyway, we wanted to just be close to where the venue was because I didn't want to deal with all the traffic that bottlenecks up there. So we went on multiple areas of the hotels and ended up touring the ones and ended up picking Pier B, which was about a 10-minute walk, and then they shuttled you back and forth. So it worked out perfectly.
Yep.
And then college tours. So Hannah's class, high school graduates were class of 2020. So she, we didn't really get the opportunity to do a lot of tours out there. So the tours in college were actually really important at that point because you couldn't do the
COVID,
campuses.
yeah.
Yep. And then, so Lauren, my younger daughter, is looking at going out of state. And so we ended up doing some virtual tours of what those look like as well. So kind of what to expect when you do go tour. So you got a good basis of what you're doing for the grounds. The other part is the national parks. So I feel like I'm like this world tour, but I'm really not. But,
That's the idea, though,
right.
really.
So my girlfriend just moved out to, well, not just recently, but she moved out to North Carolina, and we ended up going to the Blue Ridge Mountain. And we did the hike of Mount Pisgah.
Sure.
And
Don't
so
ask me, I don't know.
Yeah, I probably
World's not along,
but
yeah.
it was so beautiful, and you can actually go online to these national parks and look at it and see, what it actually looks like. Can you handle that? What's the altitude? Different things like that. So it was really cool. And then the U.S. just national parks in general, they offer a lot of varieties of tours and the 360-degree videos and different things like that, and the photo galleries and where you are on your map so you don't get lost.
But strong internet is what it takes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really does.
That's where it starts.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and if you're big into art galleries, that's another virtual tour you can take. I know those can be tough to get into. You have to travel a lot to get to the really cool ones. I know there's the J. Paul Getty Museum in Los Angeles. These artworks span over 6,000 years. There's the Vatican Museum in Rome. So they have something like the Sistine Chapel. Those are things you may not be able to get to. I mean, a trip to Rome can be very expensive. If you want to try to get to all of these in the span of a couple of years, it's going to cost you quite a bit. So you can go on their website. You can take a look at each of these individual galleries. A lot of these have galleries that are limited at time, so the ones that you want to see maybe don't fit your schedule. So now your options are wide open. As long as you have a good internet connection, you can go take a look. I know for like college classes, a lot of classes will have a Zoom call where they can do virtual tours all together. So if there's like a research paper, you can go do this with your friends, with a group of students. So the options are pretty endless.
Yeah, if science is more your thing, a lot of the famous science museums also have virtual tours, like the Smithsonian, the National Museum of the United States Air Force, the German Oceanographic.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Oceanographic. Wow,
I
that's
don't
a big
know.
word.
Yeah, I don't use that word a lot.
Yeah, sure. Just
But
yesterday.
these are great places you can do. I know I personally, when I moved to Litchfield a handful of years ago, it was in the heart of COVID, and I was coming from out of state. So our real estate here, Zach Rognes, shout out Zach, but he did a lot of virtual tours through over like FaceTime on his phone. But now we talked about so many of these real estate agents are putting that on the right away on their listings.
Right.
So you don't necessarily have to have an agent that goes there and does it for you, on their phone. Now you can maybe do a virtual tour right away to kind of see if it's a good fit for you or not.
I forgot about, you also got interviewed over
Virtually.
a virtual.
A little bit of that for
Oh,
sure.
that's right.
Virtual tour of me, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Job applicants.
no one
I'm
really-
sure it's a big thing.
Yeah.
No one really knew what he looked like until he took his face mask off.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
True that. And one thing I just like about virtual touring in general is between Google Earth and Google Street View, you can travel a whole, the city of Litchfield. You can travel the streets and see what the buildings look like and downtown and houses and maybe in a neighborhood you used to live in or grew up in. Nowadays, that stuff's updated usually every couple years. You can go and see, what your town looked like or what it looks like now and just see some of this kind of stuff in relatively recent view. It's pretty cool with the technology between satellites in the air And you may have seen those little Google or different company cars that drive around with the cameras mounted on top. Like, what
Yeah.
the heck is that?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of that stuff comes from. So
We use a lot of that with work with Google Maps. So when we were trying to find the point-to-point site. So we'd put it down on the street view and then look to see if we could get a good line of sight from
Oh,
our
really?
tower to that. Yep.
Yeah.
the technology is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, people building new houses. A lot of times, those maps get updated, and like there wasn't a house there last week. Now it's there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, we use that every day, and it's just like with the internet. You can do just about anything with it, and virtual tours, whatever you're interested in, you're gonna be able to find something that you can get to without having to leave your home. And really, you can go on Google, search virtual tours, search museums, national parks, art galleries, and the options are wide open. So, and you can also catch the replays of our episodes here on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel. Just search Vibrant Broadband. As well, you can listen live here every Wednesday on KLFD at 10:30. And if you have questions, just give us a call. Our number is 693-3231, or go to the website at vibrantbroadband.com. Points.
I mean, there you go. There's your vibrant you for this week, and we'll chat with you guys next week.
Thanks for having us, Woody.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet. Vibrant broadband internet.